John Dramani Mahama has unveiled the country's infrastructure plan, which forms part of the nation's long-term development strategy. The plan aims to address infrastructure challenges in some of the key sectors, including energy, water and sanitation, and commercial infrastructure. The new 30-year framework, which is developed by the government through the National Development Planning Commission, is expected to be finalized by the domestic market and the domestic private sector. For more on this, we're joined on the line by an economist based in Ghana, George Antwi. A very good afternoon to you, George. Welcome to Africa in Business.
Yeah, good afternoon, and thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure. George, how does this infrastructure plan align with Ghana's current growth trajectory?
All right, thank you, and good afternoon to the people of Africa and my fellow Ghanaians. So this is a call to Ghana's development agenda because we are looking at how we can expand infrastructure in the various priority areas of our economy. And I think this is a good call. It dates back to the likes of our first president, Dr. Thami Ngubeni, who had that ambition to actually expand the infrastructure of Ghana. And since that time, government over the years have been trying to invest in infrastructure. Yes, in the last 60 years, we have not done bad, but I think we could do better. And now, this bold initiative by the current president to ensure that we actually scale and expand our infrastructure needs. It's a way of also propelling our economic growth. So for me, it's a good call for we the Ghanaian people. We are hoping that it will go beyond politics, to go beyond individual affairs. It should be based on a pragmatic approach to ensuring that we're able to achieve this ambitious 2057 agenda of Ghana infrastructure plans, and we are looking forward to it as a country.
And on that note, George, this has been a long time coming. And at the launch of the Ghana infrastructure plan, President Mahama did indicate that the plan was initially completed in 2016. It was then revised in 2019, but it was shelved for a number of years. Given the inefficiency that the president cited, what are the institutional reforms that really need to take place, that are essential, that have to underpin the credible delivery of this project?
Yes, I think the president was emphatic on the fact that we need to actually check our public spending, so we ensure that we are not overspending. If you look at the report by the Auditor General's Department of Ghana, you could see that there was cost overruns of about $70 billion in terms of how we are handling our projects and infrastructure. So these are bottlenecks. If we are closing that gap of $70 billion, not leaking out and going straight into infrastructure programs and implementation, it means that we are going to achieve that objective. I think one thing that is also very key is also capping our budget spending in terms of our debt to GDP ratio to about 45%, which is very emphatic because the more we overspend, the more we pile out our debt. It means that debt servicing is going to eat out away our the money is available for us to actually finance our infrastructure. And then also, if you look at the approach of this government, they are very measured with how they are spending in their various priority areas and sectors. So I think that is what I see as a commitment from this current government, and that they stick to the plan and ensure that they invest by this bold initiative by the government. So for me, I think this fiscal discipline is one key thing that we will do, and also ensure that we will not compound so much debt so that it will not lead us to servicing debt, which is very expensive for our country as a developing nation. So sticking to not doing a lot of excesses in terms of overruns, and then also ensuring that debt.
Right. I mean, that fiscal discipline that you're talking about.
Of course.
As we wrap up this afternoon, I wonder what opportunities exist for foreign direct investment, and also perhaps in that let's include technology and skills transfer or even regional trade spillovers for this infrastructure plan.
Yes. I think if you look at existing programs by the government, for instance, you are looking at the big push agenda of the government, ensuring that about $13 billion coming in this year, getting into next year. Next year, they are looking at even investing about $30 billion coming in to support infrastructure development. And if you look at the priority areas, we are looking at developing our digital infrastructure. We are looking at developing road infrastructure, and then energy, which is also the backbone of our economy. So with this specific approach to dealing with some of these challenges, I believe we should be able to inch closer to the bigger objective by the government. So, of course, existing programs and the focus of this current government is actually leading us to achieving this ambitious objective.
George Antwi, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's economist based in Ghana, George Antwi. He takes us to exactly 4:30 p.m. Central African time as we take you now to